Today we have a piece of construction equipment in the shop. This is a Bobcat T140. A common issue with these machines, these skid steers, is when you put a load on them, they start bogging down or they want to stall, or when you go ahead and engage the throttle sticks, start moving, it feels like it wants to bog down and stall out. Before you start going crazy and thinking, that you got to take it to a dealer because it's going to cost a lot of money, you always want to start with the basics. And the first thing you want to start with on these particular machines is start with your fuel filter. Check your air filter and check your fuel filter. Now this one in particular was bogging down under load, but was also wanting to stall. It would idle fine, but once you would engage those throttle sticks and try to move forward, it would just drop right down. The idle would drop right down. And this is the problem we have with this. So let me go over this system with you. This is the Bobcat T140. And if you look back here, you see that white filter down there? It's on the right side. When you open this back door, that's your fuel filter right there. Now, wasn't able to get one from Bobcat. It would have took a couple of days. I wanted to get one quick and try to fix the problem on this, get these people running. So the old filter I already took off. Is right here. Now, I was a little concerned because the one from Napa was a little bit longer than this one. You can see it's probably about a quarter-inch longer, but didn't seem to be a problem. Went on there nice. Now, when you're taking these off, you can see this has the water separator dial in the bottom. It's kind of tricky. You're gonna have to, and don't pull on this because you don't want to, gall up your threads that go in here. So you gotta have to kind of put it on a little bit of an angle and drop this thing out slowly because this thing is so wide that it actually hits this base down here. All right, but once I got this out, I dumped the fuel out. I didn't see anything noticeably, but then I got a white cloth and started banging it, and all of that soot came out of the filter. And that was telling me right there that that was more than likely going to be the problem. And now, hoping that it didn't go up through the system into the injectors and so forth. But I cross-referenced the filter from Napa, and the Napa number is, there's the box over here. It is a 3192, if you need to know that, from Napa. But basically just crank this thing off, drop it down, a little bit of fuel will come out. Make sure you have a pan underneath. And then what I did after that, before I put that filter on, I didn't know if there was anything clogged up in these lines. After I saw that dirt, I started wondering if all these lines were going to be impacted as well with debris. So while this filter was off, I took this line off from the fuel pump right here. This is your fuel pump. I took this line off and I actually shot air through this hose down out through the jet here, and that goes into the fuel filter, and blew that out. And I had nice strong clean air coming out of there. So I blew that line out, and then I went to this one here, followed that line up. Now this one goes up here to a purge valve. I took that one off, blew air straight down into that, came right down through and blew it through there. You don't want to put your new filter on and then go blowing in there. If there's any dirt in there, you're going to blow it back in. Anyway, that was while the filter was off. I blew those lines out. All right, then I put the new filter back on, and this one has a little bit of a different dial on the bottom for the water separator. That's all right. It seemed to fit okay. Put that back on, and to prime this system, now some Bobcats may be different. You got a primer bulb here, like you'll see on a boat motor and such, is you want to prime this until it gets solid. Alright, you want to get all that air out of the system, but before you do that, because you might be priming and the problem you're having is you primed it and it still won't start. Again, you want to go back up. You got a purge valve here. All right, so what this does is as you're priming, it's sucking from the tank. It's coming up here. Sorry, it's coming up here to your fuel pump, going down into the fuel filter here. All right, you're pretty much purging the air out of the system now. And it's going to come back up here into your purge valve, which again, you want this open. So open is going to be turning this to the left. All right. So as you're priming, it's pushing the air through all the way up. Now there's another hose that comes right up here into, the lighting's pretty bad here, but let me see if I can pull the light up here. Sorry about that, guys. But your line is coming up in here into your injectors. All right. So again, crack this open all the way to the left so that that's open, and then start priming. This might take you a good 2, 3, 4 minutes, but keep squeezing that until it gets rock solid. All right. Then once it does, you can come up here, turn this to the right, and close that. If you don't open this when you're priming, well then all you're doing is building up pressure right here up to the purge valve. You're not really getting the air out of the system. So make sure this is to the left, all the way open before you prime. After this primer bulb gets solid, come back up here, turn to the right, and close that, and that machine should fire right up. Now that solved the problem. I took it out for a test drive, and it runs pretty amazing right now. And I did notice a little bit of debris in the air filter. It was sucking in. They had the wrong air filter in there, but that wasn't the problem. It was definitely in the fuel filter. So hopefully this helps you out if you are having problems with the Bobcat bogging down on you under a load, or even just driving around. But worked for me. I changed the filter. She runs like a charm. See you next time.